Good evening, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the second meeting of the Mayor and City Council. It is 6 o'clock. I would like to call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Councilman DeWalt,
Here.
Councilwoman Johnson. Oh, she just got logged in. Councilman Mills,
Here.
Councilwoman Clark. Here. President Kole,
Here.
Mayor Sidnor.
Here.
Thank you very much.
And Councilwoman Johnson just logged in.
Here.
Thank you. Our next item of business is a report of the Mayor and City Council. We will start tonight with Mr. Mills.
Mute. Let me unmute. Good evening, Council, Mayor. I had the pleasures of, well, let me just say Happy New Year to everyone. And we had a great start of a new year, and had a lot of ribbon cuttings that we attended, and on New Year's Day, I actually had the pleasure of hanging out with the council and the mayor, and we were at the Food Lion and giving out the reusable bags, and then we went over to the Giant shopping center at the Giant and had the pleasure of giving out 100 bags there, and a lot of people were kind of reluctant on taking the bags from us. They thought we were selling the bags, but until we kind of had to convince some people to take the bags from us. But I think we need to continue the message, because it's going to take a while for our constituents to understand what transition that we're getting ready to go into. And a lot of I went to different shopping centers, grocery stores, just to kind of find out what the prices were for their bags that they were selling. They're no longer given out, so I can't use that term. But they were like from 10 cents up to 40 cents, and those were like the paper bags. The reusable bags were from 50 cents to $2.20. So I think it's going to be pretty interesting as far as, on the business aspect of what where people are going to go because of the cost that they have to now pay for these bags. And then as far as on the ribbon cuttings, I didn't have the pleasure to be at Gigi's ice cream shop to be there with the ribbon cutting. That day was a Friday, but I did, after my prayer time, went and introduced myself and gave her one of my cards and let her know that I'll be seeing her, because I love that ice cream parlor being right down the street from my office on Main Street. All right, and also at the Acapulco, Bar and Grill, that was very nice. That was very nice. The inside, the layout. If the public is watching right now, please support these Main Street businesses. I mean, you'll be very impressed with this new bar and grill, Acapulco Bar and Grill, and go and spend some money. Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you for your report, Mr. Mills. Next, we'll go to Councilman DeWalt.
Good evening, everyone. Like Mr. Mills and several other council members, I helped hand out the bags at Food Line and Giant. They came from the mayor's office, and the bags are absolutely the best I've seen so far for reusable bags. They have the city seal on them, and they're really well reinforced. So I guess we're gonna get a lot of them out in the community, which is very, very good. And they came strictly from the mayor's office, so they did a great job in picking those bags out. Also with Gigi's Ice Cream and family-owned business on Main Street and Acapulco, David and Walter who own that, and that's a family-owned business. And Acapulco it's the addition they put on is simply beautiful and it's gorgeous. You gotta stop by these two. And Gigi's also not only ice cream, they have breakfast sandwiches and different things, good coffee and things like that in there too. So don't hesitate to go there early in the morning. On Saturday, my condolences go out to Mitzi Bettman on the passing of her husband, Danny Bettman. The funeral was held at Donaldson's funeral home. And that later that day, that was the first Epiphany party in my neighborhood. And that's what really makes my neighborhood special, is because of the people that live there and the people that gather for parties like this. And the food just incredible, and the friendship and the conversation and everything that we have at these parties. And then just so everybody knows, tonight and tomorrow night is a fundraiser for Laurel Cats, who does an extremely great job in our community, taking care of all the cats in the community. And they're at the Restaurant 198, which is in Burtonsville. And tomorrow night on the 9th at 6 p.m., I guess it's weather permitting, it's supposed to rain really bad tomorrow. Mike Walls will be playing. If you've never heard Mike Walls play guitar and harmonica and sing, you're missing out, because he's a great artist. He only lives down the street from me, and he also was a former council member. And just a couple thank yous from two from the Department of Economic Community Development. Robert Love helped me out today, along with I met Sharice Liggins, another member who I didn't even know worked for our city from the Department of Economic Community Development. And I wish her the best and have a long and very successful career with the city of Laurel. And also Bill Bailey answered my questions early Sunday morning, and Michelle from finance got all my questions answered in an email. But I really appreciate the help, and that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman. Next, we'll go to Councilwoman Johnson.
Good evening, Council President, other council members, directors. My report is as follows. Like members of the council have mentioned, we did the holiday holiday events, also the grand opening for the different locations in Laurel. It's good to be able to be a part of that so we can get out and meet the community. I attended the PGCMA holiday meet and greet. I guess those things are kind of interesting to me because it's goes a little bit further than just Laurel and getting to meet other local Congress people and different people in the neighborhoods. On Wednesday, December 20th, we had a chance to go to Peace on Patuxent, organization off of on Patuxent that handles hospice care for women suffering with cancer. Saturday, December 30th, again, another holiday thing, but interesting because I was able to attend for the first time and learn something new. There was a Kwanzaa celebration and naming ceremony, so I was able to get an African name, so that was interesting to me. And then the last thing was Friday, January the 5th, when we got to meet Congressman Glenn Ivey over at the Heat and Frost Insulators Union. So that was interesting to me also. And just to remind everybody, I'm not dealing with this directly this year, but on January the 15th, the MLK Day of Service is still going on. Thank you to City Administrator's Office and Corinne Quebec for handling that and keeping that tradition going. So it's really near and dear to my heart. So just make sure we can attend if you're able to, January 15th at 10 a.m. at the Multi-Service Center. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilwoman Clerk.
Thank you, Mr. President. Immediately after being sworn in on November 27th, I jumped right into serving the Laurel community by attending the following events. For November, I attended an annual Giving Tuesday event at a resident's home, supporting and promoting a woman-owned business in Laurel called All Wrapped Up. For December, it was a pleasure joining many holiday season events, the PGCMA with my colleagues, City of Laurel Holiday Party, the DPW, and our Parks and Rec Department as well. Also, congratulations again to the owners of the family-owned Amigos Mexican Grill that recently opened up in Ward 2. I also took a tour of the Laurel Advocacy and Referral Services location. I requested it to understand the programs and services available for our residents. In addition, I was proud to honor our veterans at Reefs across America, Shop with a Cop lunch and party where I witnessed our kids and our Laurel mayor versus the police department in a soft cotton snowball fight. I can't really tell who won, and I'm not going to get in the middle of that. Also attended the Laurel Historical Society's volunteer happy hour and the Lars annual Christmas fundraiser held by Councilmember DeWalt. It was lovely. Took a tour of Peace on the Patuxent along with Councilwoman Johnson and the mayor, which is a nonprofit retreat for women with cancer, and passed out reusable grocery bags with the council as well. For January, I attended a tour of the local heat and frost insulators and Allied Workers International Union Apprenticeship School in Laurel. And if you know anyone who is interested in an apprenticeship, please have them visit insulators.org where they can earn and they can learn. Celebrated Gigi's Ice Cream Shop opening and Acapulco's reopening. And this weekend, I attended the funeral of Laurel's very own Danny Bateman, son-in-law of the city's previous mayor, Joseph R. Robeson, and husband to Miss Mitzi Bateman, chairwoman of Laurel's Planning Commission. I would like to offer my heartfelt condolences to the Bateman and Robeson family on the passing of Danny. He was described in the most loving manner by his children, family, and friends as an irreplaceable example of true love, compassion for others, and someone who strived to make a difference in his community. One local organization that Danny loved and supported dearly was Community Crisis Services, a one-stop calling center for information and compassionate assistance for those in crisis. You can view more about them at communitycrisis.org. And to wrap up my report, I would like to make a brief announcement that I will be hosting on behalf of the city our annual Black History program. This will be held at the City of Laurel's Multi-Service Center on Saturday, February 10th, from noon to 3 p.m. This event will showcase local art, Black-owned businesses, job opportunities, Black history education by the youth in our community, and perhaps even a little bit of dancing and music. So we hope to see you there, and please make sure you save the date and invite a friend because everyone is welcome. That concludes my report. Thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. I'll go next. Don't want to sound like a broken record. I did want to wish Happy New Year to everyone that's watching on Laurel TV and to all of our staff that are joining us tonight. Thank you especially to Parks and Recreation for all of the various activities that they did during the month of December. I also attended the multitude of ribbon cutting ceremonies. I want to welcome all of those businesses to the City of Laurel, remind them that we are here to help them. We hope that they are very successful and continue for a long time with us here in the city. On December 18th, I had a meeting with Director Love to review potential changes to legislation for our Land Use Development Code. Thank you to Department of Public Works. I was very happy to see that they tested the new brine trucks this past Friday, getting us ready to have inclement weather while reducing the amount of road salt applied before and after a storm and reducing that goes into our local waterways. Reminder that tomorrow night, January 9th at 6 p.m. via Zoom, the Planning Commission will meet. And then finally, I wanted to thank my City Council colleagues, city staff, and residents for the condolences on the loss of one of our family members last week. Next, Mr. Mayor, I would have your report.
Thank you, Mr. President. Happy New Year to everyone. I'm just going to give you some dates, kind of redundant report as well, but I think it's important for me to repeat these things as well, things I've done as mayor. On November the 29th, I was invited to Laurel Elementary School by Amy Duncan. It was a fundraiser. They wanted me to encourage the kids, so I went there. On December the 2nd, Brussels with Santa, ribbon cutting at Maryland Electronics thing opened up by Elaine Collins. I think it's the first one in the state of Maryland, I believe. So welcome her to that project. I attended a Christmas party with the Heat and Frost Insulator Local 24, also on December 2nd. On December 5th, I attended K-pop Korean barbecue grand opening. And on the 7th of December, I attended the PGCMA legislative dinner. On the 8th, we went to Amigos Mexican grand opening as well. And once again, condolences to the Wilson family of former First Lady Jane Wilson. On December 12th, we met with the city administrator, deputy administrator, myself. We met with the Laurel Board of Trades. It's a monthly meeting we do to talk about the growing business side of the city of Laurel and try to support the Laurel Board of Trade as much as possible. On December 13th and 14th, I went to Laurel High School to speak to the Student Government Association about local government. Also on December 14th, happy belated birthday to Marion Bowman of the Morningside Nursing Home. She turned 100 years old, and her birthday wish was she wanted some more years. So hopefully next year, October, we'll come back there for 101 birthday. Also that same day, the lighting of the menorah, the last day of Hanukkah. Then on the 15th, I had a meeting with the Laurel Volunteer Firefighters Leadership Team, talk about their needs here inside the city of Laurel, how can we be more help for them as well. On the 16th, we attended the Reef Across America. And this doesn't get enough notice. Every time, the police do something wrong, they get big notice. But when the police always do this good community work, Shop with a Cop is a good program sponsored by the Laurel Police Department. They go out there and they select families that need Christmas gifts and things of that nature, and they have a big fun over there. So I think that need to be highlighted more. Anything we have community policing is doing with our kids in our community, we need to highlight that much more. We highlight things when cops do something wrong. So let's continue to thank our Laurel Police Department, not only Laurel Police Department, police departments throughout the world, that's giving back to their community, protecting us, and also interacting with our children. So that's very important. I want to respond on that. Also on the 19th, went to a grand opening of Wawa. That was really big. Wawa, right? We need more Wawas in the world, right? So also fundraiser for Vanville Elementary School. That parent teacher organization had a fundraiser. They invited me out there, so I went out there to support the fundraiser and bought some pizza from Blaze Pizza. On December 20th, Laurel Lake Senior Citizens Department, they wanted to talk to the fire department. So the fire department from Station 10, the paid firefighters went out there to give them some briefing on fire safety and response time. They was very pleased with that. Then on December 21st, at Bernadette House, they had a holiday party at Love Life Cafe. Miss Nash has been in the community a long time, working with our youth, our teenagers. So anytime we can support, once again, our youth and our teenagers, support the Bernadette House as much as possible. Congratulations to Director Christy Cromwell. She was appointed by Governor Westmore to the Board of Local Emergency Managers. So that's a big ups to Christy Cromwell for doing that as well. Also, December 30th, Kwanzaa, I was invited to the Woodburn and Associate Annual Kwanzaa celebration over there, our next door neighbor, Anne Arundel County. It was a real good event. Councilmember Johnson was there as well, and also Deputy Director of Communication Jackson was there as well. And also welcome to Officer Stephen Graff to Laurel Police Department. He's a transfer from the Baltimore City Police Department. His wife was very happy that he's now working in Laurel, so welcome, Officer Graff. And on the 5th, January the 5th, like I said, mentioned Deputy Secretary Turk, Department of Energy, and Congressman Ivory came here, Local 24. So to support the Local 24, it was great meeting them as well. And that concludes my report, Mr. President. I have some appointments. If I can read them in the record for you now.
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, appointment to the Ethics Commission, Lynne Sports. Appointment to the Board of Appeals, Stephen Wallace. Appointment to the Planning Commission, Stanley Bradley. A reappointment to the Arts Council, Inka Patel. And a reappointment to the Education Advisory Committee, Davonia Bryant. I'm asking for the council approval of those appointments, please.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I will entertain a motion.
A motion.
You have a motion. Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion and a second for the names as read into the record. Can you please call the roll?
Councilman Mills,
Here. Yes.
Councilman Dawad,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clerk,
Yes.
President Kole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mr. President, could I say one more thing before you go into the public hearing?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Ms. Green, do you have anyone signed up to speak for the public hearing?
Yes, sir, I have one person,
What's that person
Mr.
name?
Rob Winley.
Say again?
Rob Winley.
Okay, yes, okay. So once he finished speaking, I'm gonna read a proclamation. Is that okay with you, Mr. President?
Sure, I'll close the public hearing and then you can read the proclamation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. All right, agenda item number 5 is our general public hearing. We do have one person signed up to speak. Sarah, is Mr. Winley on the line?
Yes, sir.
Right.
I just
Open
allowed
the
him.
general public hearing at 6:20 p.m. Mr. Winley, can you please give us your name and address for the record? And a reminder that for general public hearing, all speakers have 3 minutes.
Yes, my name is Robert Winley. My address is 12406 Spring Ridge Court, Laurel, Maryland, 20708.
Thank you.
Okay. Mayor Sidnor, Council President Kole, and distinguished council members, I'm grateful to have the opportunity to briefly speak before you today. In addition to serving as a commissioner on the Laurel Youth Services Commission, I also volunteer with the Prince George's County Human Trafficking Task Force. Human trafficking includes both labor trafficking and sex trafficking, and no community is free from it. In fact, Prince George's County is a hot spot for sex trafficking. Victims of human trafficking come from all walks of life. As the Maryland Human Trafficking Task Force says, victims of sex trafficking in Maryland have many different faces. They may be foreign-born, domestic, minors, or adults, and they may be male, female, or transgender. The Maryland Human Trafficking Task Force further states that because of the many truck stops, rest stops, bus stops, as well as access to major East Coast cities by way of Interstate 95, and with victims arriving from all over the country and globally through BWI Airport, victims and traffickers have told law enforcement that Maryland is a gold mine for human trafficking. As a father of 3 school-aged children and as someone who volunteers with youth on a weekly basis, I am deeply concerned by the knowledge that in our own communities, victims, many of whom are children, are being trafficked for labor and sex. That is not just an assumption, that is a fact. In 2010, President Barack Obama first recognized January as National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, and it has been recognized as such every year since by the president. January 11th is set aside as National Human Trafficking Awareness Day. I humbly ask that a proclamation be issued recognizing January 11, 2024 as Laurel Human Trafficking Awareness Day. I further invite Laurel public officials to consider wearing blue, the designated color to help raise awareness of human trafficking on January 11th, and to use the hashtag #WearBlueDay on social media. Again, thank you for your time, and I would appreciate your support.
Thank you very much, sir. With no one else signed up to speak, I will close the general public hearing at 6:23 p.m. Mr. Mayor, you have the floor for your proclamation.
Thank you. Before I read the proclamation, I want to pay my condolences to also Missy Bettman as well. Councilman Clark said it so well, so I'm not going to echo anything she said. She said it very well. I'm going to the proclamation. Whereas January is Human Traffic Prevention Month, a presidential designation observance designed to educate the public about human trafficking and the role they play in preventing and responding to human trafficking. And whereas around the world, human trafficking has stripped nearly 25 million people of their safety, dignity, and liberty, disproportionately affecting historical, underserved, marginalized communities. And whereas during National Human Trafficking Prevention Month, we affirm our commitment to ending this inhumane and immoral practice in all its forms. And as we bring perpetrators to justice, we renew our pledge to help survivors recover and rebuild their lives. And whereas by wearing blue, the international color of human trafficking awareness, you are stating your commitment to bringing this heinous crime out of the shadows. And whereas we have an important role to play in preventing human trafficking and protecting victims, I encourage the city of Laurel to learn more about the signs of human trafficking and share the National Human Trafficking Hotline 1-888-373-7888, an important resource to report a tip or ask for help. Now, therefore, I, Keith Sidnor, the mayor of the city of Laurel, do hereby claim January 11, 2024 as Human Trafficking Awareness Day in the city of Laurel and call upon the community to recognize the vital role we play in combating human trafficking and deserve this month with appropriate programs and activities aimed at preventing all forms of human trafficking. So with that said, if you don't wear a uniform, I know the police wear blue every day though, but people in the business department, IT department, I encourage all city employees, if you don't wear a uniform to work, wear blue on January 11th, 2024. Also the community as well. So this will go into effect on January 11th, 2024. Thank you, Mr. Winley, for bringing this important issue to our attention. Anything the city of Laurel can do, the mayor and city council, we can reach out to us as well. So thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor Sidnor. Moving on, agenda item number 6, consideration of a fleet acquisition of 2 2024 Ford Transit passenger vans. Deputy Director Tim Miller of the Department of Public Works, you have the floor.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, Mayor Sidnor, Council President Kole, and Laurel City Council members. The Department of Public Works is requesting approval for the purchase of 2 2024 Ford Transit passenger vans to be assigned to the Department of Parks and Recreation to replace vehicles that have exceeded their lifespan for program use, but will now be used for building maintenance staff. The department solicited several quotes from Sourcewell, as well as vendors on state and county contracts. The accepted quote is in the amount of $124,971.12 from Apple Ford of Columbia, Maryland, which is on the Baltimore County contract number 4504. Based on the fleet schedule, the following vehicles will be replaced. Vehicle number 759, which is a 213 passenger van, and vehicle 758, which is also a 2013 passenger van. Funding is provided for in the adopted FY24 CIP Fleet Replacement Program. It's recommended that the purchase of these vehicles be approved for a total cost of $124,971.12 from Apple Ford of Columbia, Maryland.
Thank you very much, Deputy. This item was previously heard on the January 3rd work session of the Mayor and City Council. Are there any new comments or questions? If not, I will entertain a motion from the council.
Mr. President, I have one question, please.
Go ahead, Mr. Mills.
How many passengers does the van fit, sir?
I believe 15, sir.
It's 15. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I'll entertain a motion for this bid recommendation.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 15 passenger van purchased from Apple Ford.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second for the approval of a purchase from Apple Ford of Columbia, Maryland for $124,971.12. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Dwight,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clerk,
Yes.
President Kole,
Yes,
motion carries.
thank you. Agenda item number 7 is consideration of a bid recommendation for Van Dusen Road Improvement Corridor Survey, Phase 1 Engineering Services. Again, Deputy Director Tim Miller of Public Works, you have the floor.
Thank you. The Department of Public Works is requesting approval for engineering survey services for the Van Dusen Road Improvement Project. Van Dusen Road is one of the city's major thoroughfares that runs north and south from Contera Road to Old Sandy Spring and serves the West Side community, the University of Maryland Medical Center, and several other residential and commercial communities along its route. It is currently scheduled for resurfacing, stormwater drainage assessments, and pedestrian facility upgrades to meet the latest ADA standards. This work will support the design and construction of improvements along this corridor that were recommended in the concept study recently prepared by Century Engineering. The recommended Van Dusen Road improvements will be contained within existing city state right-of-way. However, this survey will also include establishing right-of-way work maps for areas where traffic guardrails are proposed and also as well as new sidewalks. Century Engineering will provide the manpower, technological, and appropriate software to perform a topographic survey for the entire 1.6-mile Van Dusen Road study corridor. The results will be compiled and submitted to the city based on the following two segments. Conti Road to Cherry Lane, segment number 1. The survey along this segment will be priority, and the results will be submitted to complete the final study and bidding for this segment of the corridor by April 2024. Based on the preliminary recommendations in the concept study, the design for this segment should not require Prince George's County review for storm drains, sediment control, or technical stormwater management. Cherry Lane to Old Sandy Spring Road, segment 2, survey along this segment will facilitate the associated final design and bidding. However, the design is anticipated to include input from Prince George's County for items such as stormwater management, storm drain, sediment control, which will have a long lead time. Unlike segment number 1, the survey results will be compiled and submitted only after all survey and right-of-way work for segment number 1 is completed. This phase of work will also include task management efforts. This will involve ongoing project management, a minimum of 2 coordination status update meetings, quality assurance, quality control reviews of survey and right-of-way work products. Century Engineering is one of the 3 A&E firms on retainer with the city. Their proposed fee for this phase of the project is $117,690.35. Funding is provided through the adopted fiscal year 2024 CIP Van Dusen Road Improvements. It's recommended that the proposed amount of $117,690.35 for survey and topological services be, as submitted by Century Engineering, be approved.
Thank you, Deputy. This bid recommendation was also part of the January 3rd work session of the Mayor and City Council. Are there any new questions or comments from the council as it pertains to the engineering survey? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, one question, please.
Yes, sir, Councilman.
Mr. Miller, does the design consist of any new sidewalks or just what's already there?
It's new sidewalks as well. What we're trying to do, some of the sidewalks will connect with some of the communities. If you were in one of the communities, you don't have access to the existing sidewalk that is on Van Dusen. Okay, so you physically have to go out in the street.
Correct.
And come down through the street to get to the sidewalk that is currently in the right-of-way. So we're planning a lot of little connections as long as big connections. We've watched people from the dog park, things like that, and how they exit the dog park, come down the street and maybe cross the street and walk along where there is no sidewalk right now. Things of that nature, Councilman.
Okay. And as far as now I know that there is a handicap, you know how like when the sidewalks smooth down.
The ramp.
So the ramps. Yeah. So those ramps will be, it's of course it's going to go with the new sidewalk, but are we talking about there should already be new ramps on the dog park side, correct?
Yes, but we will upgrade all the sidewalk ramps, okay, with what we call those dimples in the middle of all those will be upgraded to that level. Yes. Okay. And the current standards, yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I motion.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Councilmember Mills.
I motion, Mr. President.
I second.
I have a motion from Mr. Mills and a second from Councilwoman Clark. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman DeWalt,
Yes.
President Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Agenda item number 8 is consideration of a bid recommendation for the replacement of the stage roof at Harrison Burton Memorial Stage at Granville Goody Park. Department of Public Works Director Bill Bailey, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President, Mayor, and City Council. As discussed in last Wednesday's work session, the Department of Parks and Recreation is requesting approval to replace the roof at the Harrison Burton Memorial Stage located at Granville Goody Park. The Harrison Burton Memorial Stage was constructed in 1992 and is a major centerpiece for the Department of Parks and Recreation and for the outdoor concerts, movies, special events, and serves as a City of 4th of July's main stage. Upon inspection by the city staff, the stage was found to have some severe leaks and deterioration in the wood decking throughout the structure. The proposal will include removing the existing shingles, patching, and all wood tongue and groove decking. The replacement roof will include all new tongue and groove decking, fascia board, and new 24-gauge galvanized steel roofing. A 5-year warranty on materials and installation is provided by the contractor, and a 40-year manufacturer warranty on the steel roof for manufacturer defects. The department secured 3 bids, and those are as follows. Progressive Roofing out of Clinton, Maryland for $47,500. Benchmark Roofers out of Annapolis, Maryland for $36,900. And Paramount Roofing and Construction out of Pasadena, Maryland for $36,750. Funding for this expenditure is provided for in the adopted FY 2024 CIP major facility maintenance. It is recommended that the Mayor and City Council award the purchase and replacement of the roof for the Harrison Burton Memorial Stage at Granville Goody Park to Paramount Roofing and Construction of Pasadena, Maryland for the cost of $36,750 and provide for a contingency of 10% for an additional $3,675 for an overall total proposal of $40,425. I am available for any additional questions.
Thank you, Director. I'll entertain a motion for the bid recommendation.
Mr. President, I move that we approve the bid recommendation for the purchase and replacement of the roof at the Harrison Burton Memorial Stage at Granville Goody Park for a total cost of $40,425.
I have a motion. Can I have a second?
A second.
Madam Clerk, we have a motion from Councilwoman Clark and Councilwoman Johnson seconded. Can you please call the roll?
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilman DeWalt,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
President Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Agenda item number 9 is introduction and first public hearing on resolution number 1-2024, a resolution of the Mayor and City Council of Laurel, Maryland, to pay tribute to the Honorable Craig A. Moe by renaming the City of Laurel Multi-Service Center as the Craig A. Moe Laurel Multi-Service Center. This was previously heard during the January 3rd work session of the Mayor and City Council. There were many comments and questions put into the record. Mr. Mayor Sidnor, you have the floor.
Yeah, I'm just gonna highlight some of the stuff on the resolution. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I want to read the most important parts of the resolution. So whereas the City of Laurel adopted resolution number 721 on July 26, 2021. Whereas the adoption of the resolution created by the City of Laurel naming policy for parks and recreation facilities, city-owned buildings, streets, alleyways, and other city assets. Whereas the policy requires certain criteria under number 4, the policy letter F, to be followed, which was completed. And whereas the administration followed the policy under number 6, the naming criteria, parks, city-owned buildings, and recreation facilities. And whereas after carefully review and meeting the above policy requirement, it is recommended to the Laurel City Council that former Mayor Honorable Craig A. Moe be honored with the renaming of the Laurel Multi-Service Center, the Craig A. Moe Laurel Multi-Service Center. And whereas the policy states that the Laurel City Council shall have the final authority to name, co-name, rename the city amenities, buildings, parks, streets, alleys, and recreations and facilities. A little bit about Mayor Moe. The Honorable Craig A. Moe served the city of Laurel as an elected official for over 33 years, first as a councilman from 1988 to 2002, then as a city of Laurel mayor from 2002 to 2023. We mentioned last week that Mayor Moe created a task force to study the unhoused population here in the city of Laurel. And that task force came back and said we need some type of transitional housing to address the needs, not just for housing needs, but also mental health needs, substance abuse needs, job employment needs, basic hygiene needs, things of that nature. So then we purchased, the mayor and the city council purchased the sports fit. We purchased that building out of city funding and getting grants from the state as well. And here today, the building's supposed to be open. Phase 1 is open already for recreational purposes. The phase 2 is going to be open up sometime in August. This morning, the Prince George County delegation came on their retreat to get a tour of the building. They was very impressed. I want to thank Director Bailey, Deputy City Administrator Barr, City Administrator Pulley, and Ms. LeBlanc, and Director Cromwell for giving the tour as well. So they was very impressed with that. But this is just about naming the building after the Mayor Craig A. Moe. So the council had that final authority. I just wanted to put that on the record as well. So thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor Sidnor. From the council, are there any new questions or comments that were not heard at the work session? Hearing none, I will go ahead and open the general public hearing on resolution number 1-2024 at 6:42. Madam Clerk, do we have anyone signed up to speak?
No, Mr. President, not on this item.
I will go ahead and close the general public hearing on resolution 1-2024 at 6:42 p.m. This item will be placed on the next council meeting in the chambers at January 22nd at 6 p.m. Agenda item number 10, the reappointment of Christian Pulley as the city administrator. Mayor Sidnor, you have the floor.
Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Council. I bring before you Christian Pulley, our city administrator. She was appointed by Mayor Craig A. Moe. Ms. Pulley came to the city as a planner 1. She worked her way up the ladder, became a senior planner. Then she became the deputy director of economic development department. Then she became the director of that department. Then she became the assistant city administrator. And like I said before, she was appointed to the city administrator, make her the first African-American female to have this position inside the city of Laurel. I've been evaluating Ms. Pulley for the past 30 days. Like I said, I'm going to continue to evaluate all the staff, but I need to go forward with Ms. Pulley. I'm very confident in her work, her leadership, and the things she has done for the city. And I asked the council to reappoint Christian Pulley to serve as city administrator under my administration. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mayor. I will entertain a motion for the reappointment of Christian Pulley as city administrator.
President,
Sir,
I like to say after the mayor, that of Ms. Pulley, I've seen her ever since I've been in the city of Laurel and known her for several years now. And I've seen those and witnessed those steps. I have to applaud her, of her great accomplishments. And I would like to enter a motion.
Thank you, Councilman. I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Mr. DeWalt. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilman DeWalt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
President Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Agenda
Thank you,
item-
Council. Ms. Pulley, I'm sorry, Mr. President, I have to speak.
Go ahead, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Thank you for making the confirmation, Council, and Ms. Pulley's on the line. You want to say anything, Ms. Pulley, to the administrator? You know, me.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank you for reappointing me and confirming me. I continue to strive to be the best that I can be and lead the city and be a vessel for the community. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Agenda item number 11 is the reappointment of Joanne Hall Barr as the Deputy City Administrator. Mayor Sidnor, you have the floor.
Yes, I came on the council in 2017, and Deputy Administrator Barr was in charge of Park and Rec. We had a great relationship. Anytime I need to observe a building, she's always willing to assist. She loved the kids. She's an excellent director in Park and Rec, and that's why Mayor Mo promoted her to be a Deputy City Administrator. We've been working the past, 3 years? I think you've been the City Deputy for 3 years so far. Been very impressed with her work, a great leader, and she gave me a lot of the vision she have moving forward with my administration. So I asked the council for confirmation to reappoint Joanne Barr to be my Deputy City Administrator.
Thank you, Mayor Sidnor. I'll entertain a motion for the reappointment.
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. In a second,
I second.
Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman DeWatt,
One quick comment, please. If you go around Laurel and you see our beautiful park system and the playgrounds that we have, and it's just phenomenal. And anytime I look at them, I think of Joanne and Bill for making that possible. And I think we have the best Parks and Rec facilities in the entire nation, and I vote yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
President Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Mayor Sidnor, would you like to say anything?
Once again, thank you, City Council, for making that confirmation for me. I really appreciate that. Deputy City Administrator Barr, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the vote of confidence, and thank you for all your kind words. I have really enjoyed my service to the citizens and really do love this community and certainly hope to continue to strive to be the best that we can be. And thank you all.
Thank you, Deputy. Agenda item number 12 is the appointment
Recording
of
stopped.
Anderson Esquire as the new city solicitor. Mayor Sidnor, you have the floor.
Before I say anything, I think the recording has stopped. Heard the recording stopped. Are we still recording?
Yeah, Laurel
like-
TV still recording, Mayor.
Okay, no problem. Thank
That's
you.
just my logo. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I just want to make sure everything is on record. This is as an appointment that was recommended by former city solicitor Laurel. So Ms. Anderson, I said, who is Ms. Anderson? So I met with Ms. Anderson along with the deputy administrator and the city administrator and asked Ms. Anderson a lot of questions. I attached Ms. Anderson's resume to the council for you to know who she is as well. But I'm just going to read some of her resume for the public and know who we're hiring as our lawyer. Our lawyer is the most important person. We're all important. So let me say we all have important jobs, but we need a lawyer to keep us out of trouble in case we do get any type of trouble. I don't think we're going to get any trouble, but everybody need a good lawyer. So Ms. Anderson's come highly recommended. And so these are some of the things Ms. Anderson have done before in her career. She's an attorney for the O'Malley, Miles, Nayland, Gilmore, and Greenbelt from April 2014 to January 2021. She's a principal attorney for O'Malley, Miles, and Gilmore, January 2021 to the present. Some of the things she's done, she's a Office of City Solicitor for College Park. She serves as Deputy Director for Prince George County Office of Central Services, the Prince George County Office of Law, the County Attorney from 2017 to 2011, the Deputy County Attorney for the Government Operations, the Deputy County Attorney for Contracts and Procurement, and the Associate County Attorney for Contracts and Procurement. So Ms. Anderson come highly recommended by Mr. Larry Tubb, who's stepping down, but he still will be with the firm, but he will be not taking on the major cases like he's doing now. So I ask for the council to confirm Ms. Anderson as our city solicitor. And do you have any questions for Ms. Anderson? You can ask her some questions before you vote, council, as well.
Thank you, Mayor Sudnor. Are there any questions from the council?
I have one question for Ms. Anderson.
Go ahead, Councilman DeWalt.
Ms. Anderson, does this mean we won't have to look at Larry Cobb anymore? Will he at least pay us a visit every once in a while?
It's my understanding that Larry will still be around in a capacity advising on some zoning issues. And so you'll get a chance to see his wonderful face and take advantage of that great zoning experience that he has.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Councilman.
Any other questions for Ms. Anderson? If not, I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. President, I move that we appoint Stephanie P. Anderson to City Solicitor.
I have a motion and a second.
Mr. President, I'll second that.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilwoman Clark,
Yes.
Councilman Mills,
Yes.
Councilman DeWalt,
Yes.
Councilwoman Johnson,
Yes.
President Cole.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you very much. Ms. Anderson, would you like to say a few words?
Yes, thank you. First of all, thank you all for the vote of confidence, and I look forward to serving you and helping you achieve through my legal assistance the goals of serving the great community of Laurel. I want to say that I have had the pleasure of working in government most of my legal career, first with the county government and then in private practice. I've always worked with government clients or clients that have relationships with government. And I have been very fortunate because that's what I was always interested in when I first became a lawyer. It's also a great pleasure because serving Laurel in this capacity, I've worked with Larry for the last few years, assisting him with legal issues involving the city, is that I grew up, well, my family, my father was in the military and he was stationed at Fort Meade. So back in the mid 70s to late 70s, Laurel was where I hung out as a preteen and a teenager. And it has been wonderful to see the city evolve and to become the great place it is today. I got reacquainted back in early 2014 to 2018 when my son attended Pilate High School, and it was amazing to see how the city has grown and the great things that are occurring here. So I just want to say I look forward to serving you and helping you achieve your legal goals, and I'm very honored to be appointed to this position.
Thank you very much, Ms. Anderson. We look forward to working with you. The mayor has asked for the pleasure of making an announcement. I will turn the floor over to
Mr. President Cole, I'm sorry.
Yep.
May I just say a few words for a moment?
Sure, go ahead, Larry.
Thank you. I just want to take the opportunity to thank the Mayor Moe and the City Council and Mayor Sydnor, working with for the City of Laurel, working with the Mayor and City Council and the wonderful staff that the city has been a privilege for the last 6 years. It's been a pleasure, and it really was a highlight of my career, and I greatly appreciated the opportunity to do so. I know you'll be in great hands with Stephanie. As you can see, she has great experience. She's a wonderful person to work with, and I'm sure she'll be serve the city very well. But I want to thank the mayor and council for the opportunity to have served this wonderful city. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Taub. Next, we'll have an announcement from Mayor Sidnor.
Yeah, I just want to thank the council again for confirming Ms. Anderson to the council and also Deputy Administrator, City Administrator as well. Next week, the 22nd, you'll have the rest of the directors actually for their confirmation as well. So you'll be getting their resumes sometime before the 22nd meeting, so you can review who they are, things of that nature as well. I just want to bring we've been getting a lot of emails of the council and myself about the corridor center. Well, the corridor center, as you know, the last council voted for that project to move forward to the planning commission. They have not filed any permits before the city. So therefore that project is still at a standstill. But the way the process works, anybody coming for the city comes with a concept plan first. The concept plan is just an idea. It's not saying that it's guaranteed it's going to happen. It's just an idea. And I think it's always in the best interest of the mayor and city council to listen to that idea, to move that idea forward to the appropriate personnel, so they can determine whether that's going to benefit the city or not. But you know, our goal as the mayor and city council is to grow the city as much as possible, whether through economic development, through residential housing, or through commercial real estate as well. So the concept plan, once again, for the new council members coming on board as well, it's just an idea. It's not saying it's permanent. City council can move that forward to the planning commission, and the planning commission is made up of citizens that I appoint, confirmed by the council, to make those decisions on whether the project can go forward or not. So I think it's important for the citizens to know that, that way they send us emails to learn how the process of how the city government works. So once again, the concept plan is just an idea. It's nothing final. Speaking of the corridor center, they have not brought any permits to the city to vote on anything. When they do file the permits for the city, it go through the planning commission. The planning commission will address all those concerns and tell them, you know, they'll work it out. Once again, those are citizens. You know, they're not paid. They're citizens who love the city and wants to see the city grow and expand just as much as any city council. But that's the plan on that. So I just want to educate us on that as well. So thank you, Mr. President, for allowing me to speak on that issue. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Sidnor. With no further business before the mayor and city council, we will adjourn. Our next meeting is January 22nd, 2024 at 6 p.m. in the council chambers, and we'll start promptly at 6. Thank you and have a good night.